to connect. And guys, we're live. Give it a second. Everyone loves this.
How many seconds? Like seconds like last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always have to give it seconds.
You know, it's like the weird, awkward part at the start of a Facebook Live video where people are watching, but
people are watching.
We don't know if they're connected yet or not.
I swear it's not connected.
Is this for you early birds?
Oh, and it's live.
Right on. Right on. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Roarockit live video. Today is going to be a little bit more talky than the previous ones. What I'd like to do today is talk to all of you teachers, all of you organizers, educators, financial planners, purchasing, school boards, trustees, whatever. If you have a hand in organizing programs, classes, curriculums for kids, this is the one for you. What we'd like to talk about today is why do you want to get Roarockit's board building in class? How does it help you? What can we offer? And so let's just dive right in. Again, we'll be doing questions at the very end of the show, so hit us up with whatever you want. Anything that's a little bit more personalized, say you need some help with your situation specifically, send me an email to marcel@roarockit.com, and I'll get back to you and help you design your first class, help you figure out your purchases, help you figure out your scheduling, whatever it takes. I'm here to help you guys, facilitate getting this into schools, because that's what I love most about what we do here, getting this to the education system where we can help engage kids, help keep school fun and exciting. We want to engage them and promote all kinds of healthy student habits, things like attendance, project completion from start to end, teamwork, communication, problem solving. It gives a healthy dose of creativity in class. With good planning, you can fold this project right into your curriculum and include it as part of your regular class. Kind of makes you the coolest teacher around, and you're going to be building skateboards in class. So that sort of thing, it even feeds on itself. I know that a lot of you experience maybe interest problems when it comes to setting, say, extracurricular activities. This kind of thing, watching kids be so hands-on with building their boards, it like I said, it feeds itself. Other kids come by, they see this, they see that they're building skateboards, they're doing graphics work for skateboards, maybe later on they're even riding the boards that they themselves built, and other kids see this and they get super excited, they want to do it too, because it's just, who doesn't want to do that kind of thing in class? It's really engaging. How does this fit in your class? There's various subjects through which you can include Roarockit's board building. Through science, there's many avenues where we can discuss atmospheric pressure, vacuums in a closed system, lamination, material sciences, that sort of thing. You can include it in a tech shop. And this is great because it gives you a little bit more hands-on, maybe more advanced woodworking techniques. You definitely deal with laminating material, and that's something that's sort of becoming popular in the furniture world, for example. So this kind of thing can branch out into other facets through the tech shop. It's kind of better than building another birdhouse, right? We can include it in business-oriented classes. There are programs out there that do this sort of thing through a client and client-producer relationship. This lets you build all kinds of entrepreneurial skills as well. For you after school, at risk, or community organizations, through community centers, this sort of work is really, really good for student engagement. It's very good hands-on work. The way I like to put it is it gives kids the chance to contribute to their culture through relevant means. What that just means is it's something hip and popular with kids. It's something they earnestly want to do and put effort towards, and it helps that industry grow. It helps get more people involved in skateboarding. Gives it a much more positive look as well, because you've got people that may not be skaters, may not be core, may not be your typical image, and they're all contributing to the industry in some way. And in turn, this helps them, helps them learn about greater industries out there. That way, they sort of have like a leg up on what it takes to run a business, run a brand, do mass production, all sorts of really useful skills, life skills. And how do you fit it in class? Well, that depends on how advanced you want to get. We have various styles of veneer that we offer. For example, we do pre-shapes. And pre-shapes are perfect for, if you're doing younger grades. If you're, say, a teacher with very little assistance and you have a large class size, for example. If you are set up to do high volume lamination, let's say you've got like a crew of 20 and you have to do, your schedule only allows you to do all of them at once, pre-shaped is perfect for that because it's a lot less time consuming than, say, custom builds. Say you are in an art program and all you need are pre-shapes, standard board shapes and sizes. We offer pintails, street decks, mini cruisers, old school shapes. That sort of thing is perfect if you don't need to worry about what the deck itself looks like. It's also very, very useful for, say, art programs that need like a canvas. These are very easy to press and laminate and get set up. And then you've got amazing canvases for doing like visual arts applications. The other option are custom builds. Custom builds are very much more time consuming because what these are is heavy on the design element. Nothing's pre-shaped, nothing's pre-cut. The foam you would receive is blank. If you're paying attention to our foam mold demo, you'll see that there was a lot of work that went into the pre-shaped ones versus the slabs that you get for the custom work. But custom builds are very, very good for, say, like if you have tech shop classes, if you have an environment that's set up with lots of tools already, if you have a class that has students in it that may have already done the pre-shaped builds, then this is there for them to tackle something bigger. They've got that process down. They don't have to worry about that anymore, and so they can spend all that time on working on their design, on their graphics, and the molds. It's also good for longer term classes. Here at Roarockit, we offer summer camp, and there what we do is a week-long half day, and so we crank through the material really, really fast. And for the most part, we do pre-shapes or builds where we've stripped out as much of the design work as possible. That way, we can just get to building with the kids. But if you have lots of time to fill, custom builds are perfect because then you can break down all of the modules even further so that you can spend a week or two working on the design, and then you move on to the molds and spend a week or two on that. You can make it a whole semester project. And so those are the various facets of how and why this sort of thing fits in class. There's so much more that I'm sure I haven't touched on here. This is just a live event, and there's many educators and organizers and planners out there. They're doing really, really awesome things with our program, getting to fit, figuring out different ways to finance the program, for example, which is what I'd like to go into next. Funding. I know that having worked with lots of educators and organizers out there, that funding's usually an issue. Sometimes it's what prohibits this from even happening in your class in the first place, and it shouldn't stop you. There's so many ways to be able to fund this sort of thing. The obvious one is self-funding. There are a lot of teachers that believe in this sort of thing in their class so much so that they will fund it themselves. They will pick up the materials themselves, and sort of design the classroom for the future. That way, other teachers that pick up their job later on are able to do so. Just set up a model for the class. Other options you've got, you can do art galleries afterwards. Those are really, really great ways to get your students engaged with the greater world out there outside of the class. Plus, it gives an opportunity for people to actually see their work, see what they're capable of. You know, maybe you've got some kids in your class that want to be artists, and this is what they'll be doing in the future. Maybe not building skateboards, but they'll be working through art galleries trying to make money that way. So this is a great venue for that. End of semester showcases, you know, the kind of thing you just put on a show inside your, say, your school gymnasium, invite friends and family, alumni to the school, have them, you know, run your own mini gallery. You know, when you do that sort of thing, it's very easy to do, say, auctions. You can do silent auctions for the boards up on the wall. You know, shout them out to garner excitement for the boards and the builds. That helps you describe what kind of work went into the builds. You know, auctions are actually really, really cool. They're very fun. We do a lot of those in Toronto, and we find that the students, they walk away having learned a lot about, you know, that final bit, how to do that last bit of salesmanship, how to connect with people that might be clients, how to properly value their own work. You know, auctions show quite a bit to students, you know, just the potential that they've got. When you're building a board yourself, you might not have a very good idea of what your time is worth and the materials you use are worth. And so auctions are a great way to put a very real number on that. And it helps, I find it helps students, you know, value their work properly so that they can go out there and run their own art galleries, do their own auctions, sell their own artwork for what they think is proper value. There's a school here in Toronto that we like to big up a lot. They're called Oasis, the Oasis Skateboard Factory. And Craig Morrison runs this, and he's designed a really, really successful program for building an entire curriculum around board building. Students will come in at the beginning of the semester, and they might have punctuality issues, attention span issues, problems that just affects you know, their engagement in class. And this program turns them right around. It teaches them how to go out there and connect with clients. You know, the kids at Oasis are expected to do brand management, promote their own work, do the build, do commission work, which requires a lot of communication with the client. There's lots of back and forth because, you know, that first idea is never the right one. It encourages lots of entrepreneurial skills. A lot of these kids will leave Oasis. There's our delivery pickup for the day. A lot of kids will leave Oasis having learned a lot about running a business, running a brand, and many of them have gone out there to do exactly that, start their own brand, start their own business. Some will even take this and continue on to post-secondary because the program has turned them around on secondary school, so they were able to finish and they were able to accomplish that thing, move on. Finally, a couple of extra funding options that are available to you. There's the obvious purchasing department. You know, a lot of you have access to money through your budget, and so that might take care of things. Sometimes we understand that budgets are tight, so the cool thing about budgets is they may allow you to mix and match with these other funding options. I understand that educational budgets are very tailored to each school board, each district, so you might have to do some research into what options are available to you. But if you know, give me a call, I might be able to help you out, explore those options, and see what else there is. On top of combining purchasing budgets, many teachers have done a per student cost. One of the things that I could do is we would evaluate what everything you're purchasing to cover it, what each student would have to throw in to cover the materials. That sort of thing is really, really good because then it opens up sort of the entire entrepreneurial process to kids. You know, they funded the project themselves, and then they go on to work on all these other facets that we've spoken about. So it sort of acts as like a really, really good motivational tool in that sense, you know, just to encourage that beginning to end project completion. And I guess that sort of covers everything I wanted to cover today. I don't know if there's any last items that we should go over. Any questions that popped up since? Anything? No? All right. So again, we're going to keep a look at all the comments over the next week and try to answer everything that we can. And if you have anything else that you'd like to ask, something maybe a little bit more advanced, more technical, more personalized, like I said at the beginning of the show, send me an email to marcel, M-A-R-C-E-L, @roarockit.com, and I will get back to you and help you out with your project, with your class. I just wanted to reiterate that this sort of thing, it's personally what excites me most about what we do. I love to get this thing out there. I love to work with the kids and work with teachers, help get the ball rolling in everybody's classes. If you ever have any questions, contact us. We'd be more than happy to help get this set up in your educational system. That's about it. So I'm Marcel, and John behind the camera.
Whoops.
We'd like to wish you guys another good 2 weeks, and we'll see you. We'll be back probably with the second part of this educational thing. I can talk about, a little bit more in depth about what happens inside the classroom, and maybe a couple of other topics that we're not sure of yet. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.